Welcome to the Success Funnel Podcast. My name's Pat Hammond, and I'm on my own this week. So this episode is going to be pretty quick and to the point. In case you missed this week's opening credits, the topic is how to create strong, achievable business goals using the Goal Planner Canvas. Now, I am a huge fan of planner canvases. I think they are just the bee's knees because they provide such a simple framework to rapidly review an idea for viability before you take the deep dive into planning and development. And if you're not familiar with these tools, the original planner canvas was the brainchild of Alexander Osterwelder. What he did was he distilled down all the core components that go into a good, solid business plan and put them into a one-page template so business strategists could quickly review business ideas. And since he published the original canvas in 1994, the idea and application for this type of tool has just evolved to include almost every component of business. Here at the Business Guild, we've developed at least 10, maybe even 12 versions of the planner for things like business planning, marketing, production, product development, as well as the Goal Planner canvas that we're talking about today. The format for this is super simple. There are usually 3 or 4 sections with a total of maybe 8 to 12 boxes. Each box contains a question, and the question moves you through the process of the basic plan. And I know when I say this, it sounds way more complex than it is because this thing is meant to fit on one page. So when I say answering questions, we're talking a one sentence or a couple bullet points for each question. And now that we've got the background out of the way, let's talk about corporate goal planning. Corporate goals are big picture. They provide the roadmap that takes you from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow and should reflect your overarching mission. The reason this is so important is because your corporate goals set the foundation and tie together all the other parts of your business to make sure that they're working together to reach a shared end goal. Sales and marketing, research and development, accounting, production, all of your departmental goals and projections are based on the organization's overall business goals. For example, if you wanted to sell an extra 10 million widgets, your production team is going to need to make a goal that includes figuring out how they're going to produce those extra products. They'll need a plan to source more materials and staff. The sales and marketing team will need to set their goal around targeting new markets. And the finance people are going to have to figure out where to find the money to pay for all this production and overhead. In this context, you can see that your business goal is like the cog that turns the rest of your corporate machine. And since I know how much most people hate the idea of goals, I put together a handy dandy one-page goal planner canvas to walk you through the key components to create a solid business goal. And as I mentioned at the opening, the planner is broken into a few basic sections that follow a SMART goal format. What you want to do, how you're going to do it, resources you're going to need, relevance, and timeliness. And in this first section, you're going to identify the specific thing that you want to achieve and why you want to achieve it. It doesn't have to be War and Peace. All it takes is a few bullet points to give yourself a little clarity. In the next section, it's all about the how. Okay, the how you are going to make your goal happen. How are you going to do this? What steps are you going to take? How are you going to define success? And what metrics are you going to use to measure it? This section is the foundation of your goal, and you do need to know the answer so that you don't look up 6 months from now and wonder why the heck you're no closer to achieving your goal than you were when you started. Resources are probably the most overlooked part of the goal structure. We all focus on the I, what I want, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, that we forget all about the components that go into achieving that goal. Things like people and skills, time and money. Will you need to learn a new skill to do this? Do you need to hire someone to do some of the work? How long is it really going to take if you still have to work a day job while you're pursuing this? And finally, how much is it going to cost and where are you going to find this money? These are all very important questions that you have to answer before you can commit to a business goal. Relevance. This one's another one that people forget about, but it is a key component of the SMART goals. It's the R. I mean, you can't have SMART without relevance, right? So you might have a fantastic idea with a wide application, but if the goal is not relevant to your company's mission, why are you doing it? This is not a ridiculous question. A lot of people have fabulous ideas, but if it isn't in line with your corporate mission, then it shouldn't be a corporate goal. That doesn't mean it's something that you couldn't have as a personal goal, or maybe you even want to start another business to pursue this particular goal. But if it's not relevant to the business you have today, then you shouldn't be wasting business resources to achieve it. And finally, you need to set a timeline. You have to establish a start and end date and identify a minimum viable product with benchmarks so that you can measure your progression. Remember, goals have to be timely. If there's no end date, there is no measure or accountability. So what do you think? Like I said earlier, I love these planners. We have quite a few of them on the Business Guild website. You can find them in the tools and resource section under the Succeed menu. And all you need to do to access them is choose the one you want, click the link, and the PDF will just pop open in a new window for you to fill out the planner. The business and marketing planners are my favorites, probably because I use them the most often when I work with clients, but we're continuously creating new versions as we find a need. Recently, we've done a brand planner, status check planners, we've done sales planners. The status check planner, that one was a big one with the pandemic. People just trying to check in and make sure that they're staying on track with their goals while they're all hunkering down at home. But we also have email marketing planners, production planners, and I mean, we've got like another 4 or 5 on deck to roll out over the next few months. So we're super excited and hope you find them as useful as we do. Looking ahead to next week, Lisa will be back with me to share some tips and tricks for using a content calendar to manage your website and social media content. Have a great week, people, and don't forget to check out the latest issue of Flackery Magazine at flackerymag.com.